Hey, I've been getting some questions about how did I get started in cybersecurity, and is the process hard to transition into or to get into as a new person trying to land one of those entry level jobs? And feel like I should talk on this subject by showing you where I came from and my journey to get into cybersecurity. So I started off in 2007 as a 25 uniform in the United States Army, which is basically I work with radios and I did very basic computer troubleshooting. So, pulling IP addresses, making sure that you could turn it off, turn it on, hooking it up to a printer, those type of things. That's where I got my bases at. That's where I learned at. And as time went on, and I got out of the army, I was able to get IT jobs, basically doing those things at more of a higher level, but not necessarily, in a particular field. So a lot of times we start off in the IT realm, and we need to understand what type of specialization we want to go into. So we don't want to get stuck in help desk and service desk, just doing a lot of break fix, unless you like that type of stuff and you maybe want to manage the help desk or the service desk. But nine times out of 10, I would think someone getting in this field would want to end up as an IT director or having some type of specialization under their belt. And so that's what I did. I started to get these jobs and doing the same thing, but it was here at my job at INSP where I had to think about what do I wanted to become. Do I wanted to work in servers, networking, or at that time security was just ramping up. And that's when I started to think about cybersecurity and I'm going to try to get my Security Plus. And so I knew that Security Plus was the entry level certification that I needed. And I tried my best to get that while working at this job. And I end up failing that test maybe two or three times. Um, and it was more on me now that I think back on it. It was me. It was the reason that I didn't study well for that test. Not saying that I didn't know the information. I didn't retain the information like I do now. And so that's the reason why I failed that test several times before actually passing it. And the thing about that is that I went on to still not get my first cybersecurity job with that certification in hand. During those times that I was failing it, I was working at these two jobs at Founders as well as INSP. But it was at Ag First Base Bank where I first got my opportunity to become a cybersecurity analyst, and I didn't have my Security Plus then. So I want this to be some type of it's different ways, different avenues that you can come into this sector. You don't necessarily have to have um, your certifications or degree, but I would say it's gonna help you a lot of times more than hurt you. Okay, so it's better to have it than not have it, because if you don't have it and you could show it on your resume as experience, then that's great. But if that next person that you're going against, if they have both of that and the experience, then as the employer, who do you think they're gonna pick? So always look at it as something to aspire to and to actually eventually get. But nevertheless, my journey really kind of started here in 2018 when I got here as a security analyst. And he took a chance on me. The hiring manager took a chance on me as being someone new to this field, but they trained me in the way that they wanted me to go, and that's where I'm ever so grateful to them to actually bring me on and let me get my hands dirty with all the type of tools that they had, policies that they had, the way how they had to actually have that infrastructure set up to where we had to secure different things for different organizations. It was almost like having 20 different companies that you work for versus just one company. But nevertheless, that's how I got started into this field. It's been tedious, but yet rewarding at the same time. Once you break through, is a very um, very proud moment that you can have about you, actually setting a goal for yourself and then accomplishing that. And I think that anybody can definitely come into this field and be able to achieve the goals that they want to achieve is a very rewarding field. And so I would suggest anybody to, move forward and actually try your best, apply for jobs that you think that you can get. Um, and you never know, but I always say, um, don't overshoot when it comes to these applications. If you know that they're wanting 10 to 15 years of experience or a master's degree as well as the CISSP, and you don't have any of those things, even if you have the experience, maybe you may be overshooting it just a tad. Okay. So don't get read those requirements, study those things that you need to study to get your resume as closely matched to the application as possible, and then put it in. You never know. It's really about getting in front of those people in the interview and being able to talk with confidence about securing their data. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, and we'll go on to the next question shortly. So another question that I get is showing your skill level, some type of experience, especially if you don't have any, but you want to get into this field. How do you display that? How do you actually get that, and relatively at a free or low cost? And I would always point someone to the vulnerability management side of things, being able to find some type of scanner and trying to scan certain things to actually understand that in the cybersecurity realm, within a business realm, you have a lot of PCs or Macs or whatever workstations that you may have, and they have patches that need to happen on a monthly basis or in emergency cases, right? And it's up to the security team or that who's ever running patches for that company to understand the vulnerabilities that come along with those patches and then being able to have them install in a timely manner. With that being said, I would always point someone to Qualys. Qualys offers a certification and training that's free to the public. Not all of it is free, but for the most part of what we're wanting to do with, you being new to cybersecurity, this is, something that you can always knock out and be able to put on your resume and your LinkedIn to show a good standing that you understand vulnerability and the things that come with vulnerability management and the things that go along with vulnerability management. Now, Qualys is a major player in the vulnerability management scanner bill. So 9 times out of 10, your employer or whoever you are applying to, they will understand who Qualys is and the major implications that comes along with that. So you may see some people, if they're having a job qualification out there, they may be looking for someone that works with Nessus or Rapid7. Well, Qualys is just, they Qualys runs along with those tools as well, and they may have it in their environment or not. But either way, you understand how to work with a vulnerability scanner, and you understand um, the you understand the reports that need to be printed out and then sent to the people who need to take care of those issues. So Qualys is a good place that you can come to and actually get some free training. Uh, if need be, just use your company's email address to gain access to it, or um, try to find some type of business email, I think, to sign up with it. But I'm not too sure if you need to or not. But um, it is a great place to come and learn about all of this stuff. And This is, on their website. I'll put the link to all of the things that I'm going to talk over here in the description. But great tool that you can use. I know that the Security Plus is not cheap by no means, and it's not necessarily a easy test to just study within a weekend and actually pass. You need to put time and effort in. The reason why I bring up the Security Plus is that the Security Plus is a gold standard, if you will, or it's more of a foundational piece that every employer is probably going to be looking for when talking about a position in their environment. And so, whenever you're talking about cybersecurity analysts or informational security analysts or anything entry level, more than likely they're going to be looking for some type of security plus to be on your resume. Now, like I said before, I didn't have it when I first started my cybersecurity position, but I also tailored my resume to highlight all of the security things that I felt like were notable for that position, right? And I still went on and got my certification. And the thing about that is that while you may not have while you may not have it, it doesn't necessarily put you over the person who does have it, right? So if they're lining you right up with that person that has that certification and you don't, um, it may outweigh the type of resume that you bring there because they may look at it like, okay, this person has the experience and the certification, so they're taking certain steps. It gets them to talk about that person more than your resume. So that's why I will always bring up the Security Plus as a good place to get started and to actually, if you have the opportunity to maybe get in one of these boot camps or get behind a nonprofit who can actually pay for the certification. Great thing to actually get into your resume. Try Hack Me is a great learning center that's free to learn the foundations of cybersecurity as well as getting into that pen testing field. So it's a website that you can go and kind of get these hands-on labs that you can actually get more in depth with what's going on in the cybersecurity field. Now, as a someone who works into the field, will you use this on a regular basis? It's more it could be, right? But it's all about where you're actually working, who you're working for, um, what type of what type of data are you trying to protect? And those things may cause you to replicate some of the things that you find here. But the reason why I bring this up is that these are great free courses that you can record yourself doing and then posting on your LinkedIn profile to show employers that, hey, you understand how to navigate around Linux systems, Windows servers, typing in commands. You are able to show these skill sets that are needed on a day-to-day job basis. So great opportunity here that's free is tryhackme.com. Finally, here I have VMware. And as we move closer and closer to everything just being into the cloud, having some idea of how to work in the cloud to me is very big as far as um, what you could put on your resume, how you could show that employer that you have the experience, right? So going to VMware.com and then going to the resources tab here, you can see something that they have under tools and training, the hands-on labs. And now you can go here and sign up for it. Of course, you have to give up the email or whatnot, but being able to go in and work in their labs on their software, you can now put this again. You can record yourself, screen record yourself, going through these labs, showing that you understand the the contents of the lab, and then posting it on your LinkedIn, on your profiles. And that's kind of giving you a public exposure to, hey, I have this training and I'm able to understand what's going on. And to me, I think not only just videotaping yourself doing it, but talking through it. And that way, employers can see that you have a full understanding of it, and they can actually see you moving your mouse and putting in the commands that's needed. So I think with these type of tools that you have out there, um, you can pretty much, you know, supplement the things that you may not have in a certification, right? Because your Security Plus is not necessarily going to tell you how to work with the Qualys product or a VMware product. They're going to give you a high level of definitions that's across the board when it comes to cybersecurity. But in the field, these are the type of things that employers will look for, because they're gonna sit you down, and you actually have to work with these tools. So this is what I think it'll help you along in your journey. If you got any questions, please reach out to me on my LinkedIn, or you can email me at lmitchell@mitchelltech.org, or you can look at CyberUp courses, online courses dot host. For my more courses that I offer, YouTube channel. However you found me, you can pretty much reach out to me on that platform, and I'll reach out if you got any questions. All right, thank you.